Across the flickering years of their brief existence, clever mortals have sought to blunt the inevitability of oblivion through invention. Year upon year, decade upon decade, they seek to improve their creations, blind to the fact that all they have gained from a lifetime of toil is a device small enough to fit more easily into their graves. Such a misguided passion to create animates the quest of Stimpson J cat in the Ren and Stimpy Show presents Stimpy's Invention for the Sega Genesis Video Entertainment System. Based on Nickelodeon's Ren and Stimpy television show, the game tells the story of Stimpson's efforts to create a machine. What is it? What are you doing? No, your scene is completed. I do not need the phone. It was merely to make a point about the futility of all mortal endeavors. The game tells the story of Stimpson's effort. The game tells the story of Stimpson's efforts to create a machine that transmits mundane household refuse into edible foodstuffs. Perhaps Stimpson tells himself the invention is for the good of humanity. In truth, he seeks nothing more than the satisfaction of his own lust for power. Consumed by the same desire, Sega saw video game industry dominated by Nintendo and sought to break it to their will. While their failures were many, they would prove themselves the unquestioned masters of the Ren and Stimpy game. When Nintendo would release one incompetent effort after another, Sega would claim victory with their one and only Ren and Stimpy title. What? Sega Game Gear? Begone! Mortals rightly rejected the Sega Game Gear, along with all its peripherals. As is inevitably the case with the ambitions of the living, Stimpson's plan fails. The titular invention explodes, leaving Stimpson, with the reluctant aid of his rage-addicted thrall Ren Hoek, to search for the pieces across a faithful rendering of the television show's world. Where in the 8-bit era, graphics were too primitive to faithfully recreate cartoons, with the dawn of the 60s... Where did you get this corpse?
The mausoleum of the 100,000
Right.
undying corpses.
And the reason we call it the mausoleum of the 100,000 undying corpses is because it provides an ample quantity of undying corpses from which to select.
I can't get 100,000 opinions on the game.
Corpses should not have an opinion on the Sega Game Gear! Where lesser games would force players to choose but one character, the Ren and Stimpy Show presents Stimpy's Invention. Sees the two beasts tethered together as permanently as the twin Trollikin of the Forsaken Gorge, unable to take action lest it be in tandem. To attain victory, Ren must turn his very body into Stimpson's instrument. Mortal players who give into their baser instincts and elect to control the inferior Ren will find he possesses a set of moves nearly identical in function to Stimpson's. In the game, as in every moment of his miserable life, Ren has no value. While the game supports two players, unless one is willing to accede to the other's wishes, the endeavor will end in chaos and... Once one player has established dominance, they will find that what begins as a typical side-scrolling adventure soon branches out into a variety of challenges worthy even of the Lazarian priests of Tai Blanathel. Ren and Stimpson must pilot a variety of horrific contraptions, compete in a fight to the death in a wrestling arena, even soar through the air through the strategic release of their own internal gases. Players are left wondering what challenge they might face next, forever ill at ease. Should this uncertainty grow unbearable and the player require respite, developer Blue Sky Software has included a password system. But this is no shortcut for the indolent. Each password is a baffling cipher, designed to liquefy lesser minds into negligible putrescence ere they gain access to the game's higher mysteries. And sadly, it is perhaps best that the final moments of the Ren and Stimpy Show presents Stimpy's Invention go unexperienced. The side-scrolling stages wear out their welcome long before they cease, and the final stage is an especially dull, pathetic denouement to what was once an inspiring journey. But after all their inventions have failed them, what is mortal existence but a series of rote, repetitive side-scrolling stages, punctured by all too fleeting glimpses of something more? Why then cling to your souls when you could surrender them to me and end such torment? Where does it keep getting these?
If she had the box, it stands to reason she also has the game.
The evening producer would have vetted the corpses.
You never work evenings.
I prefer to be done by 5 p.m. It leaves the evenings free to consume the souls of the living. If you enjoyed this video review of the Ren and Stimpy... How much of this can be fixed in editing?